always start off speeches by just simply saying that our hope is not in man, our hope is in Jesus Christ. Amen? Amen. All right, why do I say that? Because the world's upside down right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. I mean, when the European Union gets the Nobel Peace Prize, the only thing more ludicrous would have been if they got the Nobel Prize for economics, right? But these ridiculous ideas are coming here to America. And just earlier today at the rally against 594, one of the anti-gunners assaulted somebody and was arrested on site. Does that not highlight the ludicrous ideas that are out there right now? Well, I do want to say before we start, how many veterans we got out there? Raise your hand. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yeah.
The second thing I want to say is it's great to be with all you constitutionalists, pro-gun, pro-life veterans today in SpokaneValley, Washington. I think that covers the MIAC list. Maybe I forgot a couple things. Oh, pro-Ron Paul, too.
Fuck yeah!
I really want to thank everybody that traveled here from outside the state of Washington and from all over the state of Washington. This is what it's going to take to get our country back on the path to freedom.
Yep.
All of us standing together, all of us not letting government get away with being lawless and unconstitutional regardless of what form it takes. I do want to say, and I want to thank the sheriff deputies in SpokaneValley who contacted me this week and who said, we don't agree with the sheriff. We would never arrest constitutionalists because we are constitutionalists.
Yeah!
Now, our sheriff said the statement was taken out of context.
Yeah, right.
There is never a context or a situation that would ever justify a statement like that.
Amen.
A real leader would have said, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. There isn't any debate about this. It's a matter of right and it's a matter of wrong. It is right to support the Constitution of the United States and the rule of law, and it is wrong to threaten those that believe that you're going to hunt them down with an MRAP.
Yeah.
Words have meaning.
Absolutely.
Words have meaning. And I have to ask the question, what training did that deputy receive to make him feel so comfortable he would say that in public in front of a Walmart? It is muscle memory, I agree with you. The sheriff wants to talk about context. Let's talk about context. The militarization of our police forces across this country is dividing this country. Let's talk about context. Rand Paul, 3 weeks ago, in a Senate hearing, asked the administrator of the FEMA program that's bringing these MRAPs and armored vehicles down to local law enforcement, let's not talk about these armored vehicles. Let's ask about why are you giving law enforcement bayonets?
Yeah.
And this guy in the Senate hearing looked at him and said, well, exactly, there is no reason that law enforcement would need a bayonet. So we have to ask these questions because it doesn't make any sense, but it's bigger than just the equipment. May 11th, 2011, this sheriff brought the Southern Poverty Law Center here to train his officers. He claimed he didn't know what was in the training, even though his picture was on the slideshow itself.
Really?
But I have to say, if you bring an anti-constitution, anti-gun group to Spokane, Washington, you need to be held accountable for that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about context. How about this sheriff that endorsed 2 Democrats over conservative constitutionalists, and those Democrats believe in the same things the Southern Poverty Law Center believes in? Let's talk about on October 20th of this year when our sheriff at a debate at Central Valley High School said, and I quote, I, with the stroke of a pen, can take away your rights and your life in certain circumstances. That is frightening.
Hold them accountable.
We have to hold them accountable. And the year before, at the same debate, he called out 2 constitutionalist candidates for city council. Thank God, by the way, both of those men won. But I'm going to submit to you today that the Southern Poverty Law Center and the sheriff that backs them is the most dangerous organization in this country.
Yeah!
I mean, imagine the conversation these guys are having. You know, those evil constitutionalists, those people that they actually read the Constitution, and some of them even carry guns.
Yeah!
I mean, that's un-American, isn't it?
It is!
I submit to you that if loving the Constitution is now terrorism, then we don't live in a free country anymore.
Yeah!
So to the SPLC and the anti-gunners, they don't like us not because of how we act. They don't like us because of what we believe. And when we start to criminalize what somebody believes, we don't have freedom.
No.
We don't have freedom. So today we stand in defiance of tyranny. We stand in defiance of those who hate the Constitution. We stand in defiance of those who would take our guns, and we say, no more. The line in the sand is here, and we are not going to back up one single inch.
Yeah!
And we don't just say that for Spokane Valley, we say that for all of Americans who want to live free. So today we call on our sheriff here in Spokane Valley to apologize to the community, to apologize to the American people, to conduct a constitutional rights class, and if he won't do that,
recall.
We call on him to resign, and if he won't do that, we will recall this sheriff. And also probably send the MRAP back home. Right?
Send it back!
They don't need it.
I want to say also that the next time that this sheriff decides to challenge somebody to a debate, and we show up to take him up on that, don't suddenly go on vacation, okay? Just actually do what you say you're going to do. So, today we reject the idea, the un-American idea of nobles and nobility, and that these guys think that they know how better we can live our lives, and instead we embrace the idea that we should be God-fearing, self-reliant, freedom-loving Americans that can worship God as we so choose without any fear of being hunted down with an armored vehicle.
That's right.
Today we stand united not as a party, but as Americans, and resolve that we will walk any distance, endure any hardship, and remove any obstacle to get our country back on the path to freedom. And I gotta tell you, we're Americans. We are the greatest country in the world. We have the greatest Constitution in the world. So be bold and courageous in your faith. Be bold and courageous in your defense of the Constitution. Be bold and courageous in your defense and your articulation of freedom. And if we do that, we'll honor God by keeping America free, and our kids and our grandkids and their great-grandkids will live in peace and prosperity and freedom, and that's what this is all about. And may we bless God by our actions today. Go forward and make freedom happen. God bless.
You're listening to Radio Free Redoubt, the voice of the American Redoubt.